This is the question asked in today's SkillTrack daily challenge. So we will be given two integer matrix of size r cross c as input. So the first line of our input denotes the values of r and c. So the first integer is the value of r and the second integer is the value of c. So here the values of both r and c is 2. So we have to accept two 2 cross 2 matrix as input. So the first 2 cross 2 matrix is 3 2 3 4 and the second 2 cross 2 matrix is 1 4 1 2. So first we have to find the sum of all the integers in both the matrices. So the sum of all the integers in the first matrices is 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So the total would be 12. So this is the sum of all the integers in the first matrix. Now we have to find the sum of all the integers in the second matrix. So the sum would be 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2. So it would be 8. So the sum of all the integers in the first matrix is 12 and the sum of all the integers in the second matrix is 8. So they are not equal. If the sum of all the integers in the both matrices are equal, then we should print -1 as our output. Or else if the sum are not equal, then we have to swap the integers of the matrix which are present at the same position. So first we should check whether 3 and 1. So if the integers 3 and 1 are swapped, then the sum of all the integers in the first matrix would be 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So it would be 7 plus 3 which is equal to 10. So after swapping the integers 3 and 1, the sum of all the integers in the first matrix would be 10. The sum of all the integers in the second matrix would be 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2. So it would be 10 because this 3 would come to this position. So we would take 4 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2. So when the integers 3 and 1 are swapped, the sum of all the integers in the both the matrices becomes same. So in our output we print 1 3 as output. Here we got correct output while swapping the first integer itself. But we should check for all the integers if we are not able to form two matrices in which the sum of all the integers are same. And even after checking for all the position, if we are not able to form two integer matrices in which the sum of all the integers are same, then we should print -1 as our output. So we have to print -1 as our output for two cases. First, if we are not able to form two integer matrices in which the sum of all the integers are same even after swapping. So this is one case, and the second case is if both the input matrices without performing any swapping operations are same, then again we should print -1. So these are the two cases in which we should print -1 as our output. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. So first I am creating two integer variables named r and c, and in the next line I am accepting the value of the integers r and c, and then I am creating two integer matrices named m1 and m2. So both the integers are two-dimensional array. We will be storing our input matrices in these two-dimensional arrays, and after that I am creating two more integer variables named sum of m1 and sum of m2, and I am setting their values initially to 0. So now we have to accept the m1 matrix. So I am creating a nested loop. The first loop iterates from 0 to r and the second loop iterates from 0 to c, and in every iteration we will accept an integer and store it in our two-dimensional array m1, and soon after accepting our input we will add the integer with the integer variable sum of m1. So soon after accepting our input matrix, we have the sum of all the integers of the matrix m1 stored in the variable sum of m1. So now we have accepted only one input matrix. We have to accept two input matrix. So again I am creating a nested for loop. Here the first loop again iterates from 0 to r and the second loop iterates from 0 to c, and in every iteration we will accept an integer. So these integers belong to the matrix m2. So I am storing the integers in the m2 array, and soon after accepting the input I am adding the integer with sum of m2 variable. So soon after accepting both of our input matrices, we have the sum of all the integers of m1 matrix stored in the variable sum of m1, and then sum of all the integers present in the second matrix will be stored in sum of m2. So now we have to implement the logic. So the first case is, if the sum of both the matrices are equal, then we should print -1. So first I am checking whether sum of m1 is equal to sum of m2 or not. And if this condition is satisfied, then I am directly printing -1 and terminating the whole program using exit 0. If this condition is not satisfied, then we should swap the integers present at the same position of both the matrices. So in the else part, I am creating a nested loop. So again, the first loop iterates from 0 to R and the second loop iterates from 0 to C. And in every iteration, we want to swap the integers that are present at the same position of both the matrices. So we already know the sum of all the integers of m1 and m2. So they will be stored in the variables sum of m1 and sum of m2. So if the integers are swapped, we should add the integer that is present at the current position of the m2 matrix, and then we should subtract the integer present at m1. So I am adding m2 with sum of m1 and then subtracting m1 with sum of m1. So the value of this expression would be sum of all the integers in the matrix m1 after swapping first integer of the matrix m1 with first integer of the matrix m2. And similarly, we are doing the same thing for the matrix m2. So here we will be subtracting m2 and then we will be adding m1. So the value of this expression would be the sum of all the integers in the matrix m2 after swapping the first integer with the matrix m1. So in every iteration of this nested for loop, we are checking if sum of both the matrices are same, then we will print the integers present in the m2 matrix first and then m1 matrix first, and we can terminate the whole program using exit 0. So if any two integers are swapped and then sum of all the integers in the matrix become equal, then we will print the integers and terminate the whole program. Suppose if it is not possible, then we would have printed nothing. So finally we are including a -1. So if nothing is printed either here or here, finally we will print this -1. So now let us check our program with sample test cases. So I have given the sample input 1 and our expected output is 1 3. So we also get 1 3 as our output. And now I have given the sample input 2 and our expected output is -1. So we also get -1 as our output. So this is the logic behind today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.